Hi everyone, Ghost Peppa here. Today we're going to talk about a TCG deck, and soon Master Duel, a mix of Red Eyes with Primite and Metalmorph, which are both, in a way, Red Eyes support, which is actually nice to get for once. As it is TCG, you're not going to see things like Verte, but I will do an update for this deck and release another video once it releases a Master Duel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so I can see what you guys are looking forward to as a channel. Looking at this deck list, we have 1 Dark Magician, 2 Red Eyes Black Dragons, 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, 1 Red Eyes Black Fullmetal Dragon, 1 Metal Zoa X, 2 Zoa the Fiendish Beast, 1 Red Eyes Metal Claw Dragon, 1 Metal Flame Swordsman, 1 Bestial Druis Worm, 1 Bestial Magnamut, 1 Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon, 3 Primite Dragon Ether Beryl, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 Black Metal Dragon, 3 Incoming Machine, 1 Triple Tactics Talent, 1 1-for-1, 3 Primite Lordly Load, 2 Primite Roar, 1 Red Eyes Fusion, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Primite Drillbeam, 1 Flame Coating Metalmorph, 1 Max Metalmorph, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. For the extra deck, we have 1 Dragoon, 1 Typhon, 1 Dark Armed, 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons, 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac, 1 Volo Furnages, the Darkest Dragon Doom Rider, 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, 1 Dark the Dark Charmer, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 IP Masquerena, 2 Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, 1 Striker Dragon, and 1 Relinquished Anima. So some of these cards are pretty familiar too, and you can obviously see I'm running that Dark Magician now to pair with Red Eyes Fusion and Dragoon. But this is not your typical turn 1 play. This is usually used as follow-up during turn 2 if, say, you happen to get blown out and you need that stopping power of Dragoon to burn them for game, or if you just have still a pretty oppressive board and you're going to go into Dragoon for extra support. But the big focus here is the addition of the Metalmorph and Primite. So let's look at Metalmorph first. So for Metalmorph, it adds 3 new boss monsters, 1 being Red Eyes Black Fullmetal Dragon, which is an Omni-Negate that, upon negation, burns your opponent for the attack power of one of their cards on field that's in attack position. So I think this is really flavorful that it adds to the burn effects of Red Eyes, and I really wish that they would push this further because I really like the idea of Red Eyes being a burn deck. Then we have Metal Zoa X, which it's a similar summoning conditions by using a Metalmorph trap, but its effect is when your opponent activates a monster card or a spell card or effect, you can target a face-up monster card your opponent controls and destroy it, and you can activate this twice a turn. So this is pretty heavy disruption that is removal constantly while they're trying to climb and build their board. And the third boss monster here is Metal Flame Swordsman. So Metal Flame Swordsman, it has the burn effect that's similar to Flare Metal, which is the Xyz, the Red Eyes Xyz. So every time they activate a card or effect, they burn for 500, same as the Flare Metal, but this card gains 300 attack each time an effect activates, and this is permanent, so he can get pretty large. It's a really fun way to add Flame Swordsman back into a Red Eyes deck, so I really like that flair. And then for support, we have our 2 Zoa the Fiendish Beast, and so these are a free level 7 special summon. They do have a drawback, which is that if you special summon them this way, your opponent will be able to special summon a card from their hand, which can let them extend depending on the deck. So you have to be careful and make sure that you're prepared to deal with whatever they're going to summon. But Zoa is going to search for a Metalmorph trap, and it allows you to set it to the field. So you have 2 of those, which is Flame Coating and Max. So Max Metalmorph is very type specific. It has to meet the summon requirements listed, with Black Fullmetal being a level 5 or higher dragon, Metal Zoa X level 5 or higher fiend, and Metal Flame being a level 5 or higher warrior. Flame Coating Metalmorph gets around this, and it ignores that summon condition, but the card has to be a card that mentions Max Metalmorph. So this is how you're going to make things like Flame Swordsman when you notice I don't have any warriors in the deck. Metal Zoa X can be made using Max Metalmorph, but it has to tribute Zoa the Fiendish Beast. So most of those two in particular are going to be made using Flame Coating, whereas our lovely Red Eyes Black Fullmetal is usually going to be made using Max Metalmorph. We have the 3 incoming machines as a searcher, also as a way to guarantee OTKs because I can banish it from grave to shift one of their cards into attack position. I can also do that to increase the burn damage from the Red Eyes Negate. And this is a way, so its effect to search is it adds a monster that mentions Max Metalmorph or a Max Metalmorph trap from deck or graveyard to hand. So if, say, someone mills you and you have a lot of your starters in grave, you can actually use Incoming Machine to search them from grave to hand. Definitely really welcome support. And outside of Metalmorph, we have the Primite. So Primite, the main summon here is Primite Dragon Ether Beryl, which is a level 4, and it has to be normal summon for its effect. So it is just as good, arguably, as our Black Metal, and we have to make very tailored decisions on which one to normal summon depending on what we want to do. So Primite Dragon Ether Beryl immediately searches you into any of your Primite spells, so you can go into Load, you can use Load to search a Roar or to search Drillbeam, and you can get that engine rolling. So Primite Lordly Load searches, just like a Beryl, for a Primite spell. So I can get Roar or I can get Drillbeam to start the engine rolling. I can also use its effect to special summon a normal monster from my hand, deck, or graveyard in defense, but I can't activate the effects of special summon monsters on the field this turn. So you do have to be aware of how you use Lordly Load so you don't lock yourself out. Primite Roar is a good way to summon a normal monster to the field if your board is empty, and it also has a grave effect which lets you banish cards on their field when they normal summon. So I like to use this as a starter if I have it to get into Red Eyes Black Dragon, and say if you had to search it using Ether Beryl, Ether Beryl can tribute itself to send a normal monster from deck to graveyard, and then I can use Roar to summon, for example, Red Eyes, because the field is now empty. So it has ways to play around with its own locks. Drillbeam is a very powerful banish, negate, removal card. So it can negate anything because as long as it's on the field. So target a face-up card on the field, negate its effects, and if you do, banish it. So if they activate Branded Fusion, you can negate and banish it. If they activate a Tearlament monster, negate and banish it. If they activate Pearly, anything, it's really, really good removal. And the good thing about all of these Primite cards is, during your main phase, if you control a Primite, you can set this card from your grave, so they have recurrence constantly. So there's only one more card I almost forgot, which is in the Metalmorph engine, which is Red Eyes Metal Claw Dragon. So this is a new card tailored around Red Eyes, and its ability is, 1, it can normal summon itself, or special summon itself by tributing or sending a face-down card you control to the grave. So that can be a monster, it can be a spell or trap, as long as it's face down. But when it special summons, if you have Max Metalmorph in the field or graveyard, you can add a Metalmorph trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So one way you'll commonly see people summon this is they'll set Max Metalmorph using something like Zoa, and then they'll tribute Max Metalmorph using Red Eyes Metal Claw Dragon. It sees that it's in grave, and you can add it from grave back to hand. So it's a free level 7 that recycles. Other than that, everything else is self-explanatory, but since you noticed all these banish effects that are hidden in Primite, those are essentially my extended hand traps, and that's why I only run 6 here, but it really has a lot more interruption than you think. And these just seem to be the best hitters around my locals, which are Imperm and Ash, but you can easily swap that for Droll or anything else that you see fit. In the extra deck, Dragoon needs no introduction, but it's a good turn 2 play unless you just literally have no other option, which is rare. Typhon is removal if you get blown up, but you still can summon one thing. You can bounce their card back to the extra deck or wherever it came from. Dark Armed is removal. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon it can special summon to extend. It can also burn them. Mecha Phantom Beast is also removal. That can be used into link plays to make things like SP Little Knight, IP Masquerena, etc. And then Villafurnages, the Darkest Dragon Doom Rider. It's situational, but if they summon something really, really big, you can make Doom Rider pop itself and give all of its attack power to something else to make it even bigger. Underworld Goddess is not only a graveyard negate, but it's a kaiju. And Dharc just lets us extend by snatching a Dharc from grave, which is very common currently. And also, Dharc, if it gets destroyed, lets you search one of your many Dharcs from deck to hand. IP and SP need no introduction. It's pretty standard. Hieratic Seal definitely needs to be run at 2 in this build because you have so many dragons. It's easy interruption and easy special summon and recursion during your opponent's turn, which is why we have the 2 Bestials as support here. Striker Dragon, straightforward. Once again, black metal extension support. And since we did have extra deck room, I am running Anima as an easy way to extend and also as removal paired with our black metal dragon. So it's a bit complex and you guys are pretty used to it. As Red Eyes players, we can't make a lot of mistakes when we play into boards, but we have to be really smart about our resources. But without further ado, let's jump in. Alright, so here we're going second, and it looks like we're playing against a full power Tearlament deck. All we have in hand for interruption is an Imperm, so I need to be really wise about what I use it against. We have a few key targets, and this may be one of them here. I really don't want them to start sending things like crazy, so I'm gonna try to stop this here. The less I can have them mill, the better. Okay, wonderful. That actually just happened to be a good stop. Okay. I'm gonna Drillbeam here because I need to get rid of that sprite, or at least force them to activate it immediately. Reveal Dark Magician. I actually should have activated this during the draw step, so Sprite couldn't even respond, but hey, hindsight, I guess. Now Diviner is gonna send a Miller, I figured. Alright, they did send one of my Metalmorph traps, and of course they hit another Miller and another tier. You guys were lucky if you never had to deal with this in the meta. Alright. Still a pain. Kit Kalos, which again is going to trigger. Yep, and another one, another fusion summon. Okay. So that's 2 out of a max of 3 they can do per turn. They went Rukalos. So Rukalos is a special summon negate, and this is the 3rd. They went with 2, so they're making another kit. Okay. So here I know they can't fusion summon again. Rukalos, if you remove it, it will come back, so it is really annoying to deal with. Also, if I activate an effect that special summons a monster, they can quick effect negate the activation and destroy it. So I haven't summoned anything at all yet. I have a few options here. Now granted, cost is sends a level 5 or higher normal. So I already have a Red Eyes and Grave, so that makes this tricky. I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to do Incoming Machine. Okay, no response yet. And so Incoming Machine, I had told you before that it lets you add things from grave to hand, so this is a way that I can recur and try to play through some of the crap that they're putting me through. I already misplayed once, so I'm trying to be very careful to order this the best I can. But I have to have Zoa, that's the problem. So I'll go ahead and do that. We are not going to be able to make Dragoon here most likely, so I'm going to go ahead and use Black Meteor to send Black Dragon from deck to grave. And Rukalos is going to negate this. Playing into a deck like Tearlaments, we're definitely going to lose a lot, so we just have to manage the losses. Okay. We're going to use Zoa here. They're probably going to negate this with Sulik. Yep, they are. That will resummon from grave since this is the first time it was sent. There it is. Alright, I'm gonna go black metal. Go ahead and go striker here. Black metal will search from deck to hand, darkness metal. Now, what is the play here? So as you saw, black metal only had one search, so it's not necessarily the best option in this scenario. I can go for a red eyes, which if I do, it will let me summon another red eye so I can make a flare metal, and then I'll have 2 materials to go into something. But that's not inherently the best option. If I go into Bestial, it'll let me Magnamut, it'll let me search a dragon at the end of the turn. If I go into Ether Beryl, it's not normal summon, so I won't be able to get the search effect. So based on this, and the fact that I need to deal with their crap, I think it's going to be better to go to Magnamut. So in my extra deck, I have access to Goddess, which is 4 or more effect monsters. So I can use 2 of these to make IP. And if I do that, I can give her some extra protection from destruction. But, let's see, that'll be 2, 3, 4. That's still not enough to make it. Now, if I go into Dharc, I can likely make it as long as they have a Dharc engrave. They do with Kit. That is probably going to be the best bet. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Dharc. Use Dharc's effects. Summon Kit. Alright, now here, we're gonna go ahead and go into battle, clear that, and then we're gonna clear Rukalos. Okay. Made phase 2. We're gonna make Underworld Goddess. That, and that. This will give me a grave interaction, and since I use Magnamut, it will let me search my other Bestial to hand, so I'll have 2 ways to stop their Tearlament summons. So I am going to... you can't summon or search a Magnamut to your hand itself. I'm gonna bring to hand Druisworm. Let them go ahead. Rhino effect. Roar will let me banish that on a normal summon. So this banish effect only happens on normal summon, so I need to go ahead and do that. At least get Rhino Heart out of the way. I will show Red Eyes Black Dragon in grave. Alright, they're trying to shuffle things back. Doesn't matter. So when they did that, they shuffled back the target I had, the Red Eyes Black Dragon, so then it didn't have a target anymore, so it would fog. But in doing that, they also sort of helped me because they shuffled some Red Eyes back to deck so I can use them for more effects. Here we have Havness and Grave, so I'm going to go ahead and use Druid's Worm to stop the Havness effect by banishing it. Okay. Silic has an effect. They did manage to negate Goddess here. So Silic, you target a card and negate its effects. Underworld Goddess can only be affected if they target it. So I could activate this here, but it won't make any difference, so that's just the way it is. Rhino Heart will go there. They'll pitch one, but the only card they had available to them was Havness, so they will not be able to extend. Beryl is in Grave, and I have a normal in Grave, so it will add to hand. And now I can get that engine rolling. And that Black Meteor that went to Grave last turn can be banished so that I can search Red Eyes Fusion from deck to hand. And since they shuffled my Red Eyes back, I actually can go into Red Eyes Fusion for Dragoon, which I will do. It was summoned for the second time that way, so it gets banished when it leaves, which is why I did that. And now all we have to do is clean up the life points for game. This is what I meant by Dragoon being a good backup play. Okay, so for this duel, we're going first. We have 2 Lordly Loads, which we don't always want to see, but that's okay, we can play through it. So we're going to go ahead and activate Lordly Load first. Bait for any Ash, don't see one. Alright, get Roar to hand. I'm going to go ahead and activate Roar. We're going to get our Red Eyes on the field. Now, we're going to go ahead and normal summon Ether, because that's what we started with. Activate Ether. We're going to add, or we'll set to the field Drillbeam. So we have some interruption. And I can use Ether Barrel to send another Red Eyes to Grave if I want to, but right now I'm not going to start with that. So I'm going to go ahead and use Incoming Machine. And I'm going to go ahead and add to hand, probably Zoa. Yeah, Zoa. Going to activate Zoa's effect. Alright, they special summoned a Luber, which tells me they are playing Branded. So now I know that I'm going to have to deal with that Branded Fusion. Alright, I'm going to set Max Metalmorph here. Going to set Flame Coating Metalmorph, and I'm going to be able to special summon some a Red Eyes back with Lordly Load. So let's go ahead and set up to do as much disruption as possible to deal with their crowd. So I'm going to go ahead and link into Hieratic Seal. Also, if I do it this way, that way if they tribute using I think it's Albion, it's the Albaz Fusion that tributes dragons, I'll at least get a search off of it. I'm going to go ahead and use Lordly Load, which will lock me out of special summon monster effects for now. Search, Red Eyes. I'm going to go ahead and summon a Red Eyes from deck. Now, I have a few options. I can go Flare Metal here, which will limit what I can do with Metalmorph. Or, I can hold as is, and I can get some additional disruption. So I won't need that Red Eyes, but the Zoa would be ideal. So I think I'm going to hold, even though I know that they can get effect heavy, and I'll just go for burn if I need to. Alright, we'll go ahead and end turn. Make sure you're toggled on. In draw step, I have a few options. So Drillbeam is still active as long as that Red Eyes Black Dragon's on field. And Zoa, I can tribute pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and get Zoa tributed using Flame Coating Metalmorph. They Ash Blossomed. That is fine. That's fine for now. It's annoying, but it's fine. The Primite engine gives me plenty more disruption where that came from, and I still have my backup Metalmorph, but I think I'm gonna hold it just in case I wanna pair it with Druid Worm for extra removal. Alright, they're banishing Tragedy. They're using Tragedy to search for another Aluber. They normal summoned Aluber, so I will be able to roar here, so I'm going to go ahead and do so. Basically, when they normal summon, it lets you banish a monster on their side of the field with less attack. I'm going to target Red Eyes Black Dragon on field just in case they have a Called By in hand, so they can't fog this. I'll go ahead and banish one of the Alubers. They went for Branded Lost. Now here, I'm getting into a trickier spot. So, I won't be able to respond to cards in effect that include a fusion summon if I don't do anything here. So I really can't have Branded Lost. So I'm going to activate Drillbeam. I'm going to not reveal, I'm going to show the Red Eyes Black Dragon that's on field, and I'm going to negate and banish Branded Lost. Because I can't have that on the field to disrupt me. And now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and max Metalmorph. For Red Eyes Fullmetal. Branded Fusion, I will negate this. And I will burn them for Aluber's attack. They're using the Dear Servant here. Sending Lulu to grave. They added Aluber, I mean not Aluber, Albaz to hand, but they've already normal summoned for this turn, so they can't normal summon again. If I let it go to the next phase, they will beat over Hieratic Seal. So I'm going to go ahead and use Hieratic Seal's effect here, I think. I'm going to bounce Lordly Load from field to hand, just so I have it in case I lose a card from hand for any reason, and go ahead and get my search. So I will tribute. I don't want to bounce Aluber to hand because then they're just going to get another free search on it the next time they use it. The other option is I could bounce Max Metalmorph and use it to tribute and summon something else, but that removes some of my protection on Fullmetal. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and bring out Bestial Magnamut. Activate its effect. This won't stop it from getting beaten over by Aluber here, but at least I get a search at the end of the turn. Cartesia will summon out. And here I'm going to go ahead and go for Black Metal. Beryl recovers as long as you have a normal monster in grave, which makes it an excellent partner for Dragoon. Now, this could be an imperm, so I need to watch that zone as I play, but I'm going to go ahead and activate Lordly Load. They're going ahead and fusion summoning, or attempting to. I will negate this. And once again, burn them for Lubra's attack. I will add Roar to hand. I'm going to go ahead and use Incoming Machines effect to swap Blazing Cartesia to attack. That way they can't defend against this. I'm going to use Incoming Machines effect. And I'm going to add to hand Flame Coating Metalmorph, which is in grave. I'm going to normal summon Black Metal Dragon here. Link into Striker. Use Black Metal's effect. I'm going to search for Red Eye's Darkness Metal here. Activate Darkness Metal. Special summon Black Metal once again. Now here you see I have a plethora of different items I can search for. In their grave, they don't have any darks, they only have a light. So right now it's not super beneficial for me to go into dark, but there is potential for it later. I can also go into Hieratic Seal, but I want to kill them this turn. I can leave Darkness Metal out by going into Anima. So I have a few options, but if I go into Dark, it's just 2 including a Dark, so I think I might shotgun Anima, just so I keep my options open, even though I don't have a good target. Black Metal. Add Claw to hand. I'm going to go ahead and set Lordly Load here. So, Metal Claws, the effect activates just off of a set card. It doesn't have to be a Metalmorph. So I will special summon. I will set Metalmorph. I'm going to go ahead and activate Flame Coating Metalmorph here. I will tribute Red Eye's Claw Metal. And I'm going to go ahead and summon Metal Flame so I can put them on a clock. I will equip. So here we're going to go ahead and go into battle first and see how much damage we can do. I think we may be able to kill them. If not, it's going to be very close. Branded in Red is activated here. Let's see what they go into. 3, so they're going into Guardian Chimera. 1 pop on field. They're gonna burn a lot for this. That's fine, that is nothing. Didn't quite buff Metal Flame over. So now we're gonna go into main phase 2. And go into what I was planning on doing before. So I can go, here I have another option. So this is another good reason for summoning Anima. I open the door to go SP Little Knight, and I can banish cards. I think that's still probably going to be the strongest option. Also, they voluntarily banished their Cartesia, so I no longer have to worry about it. So I think that's what we're going to go with. But they did stop me from completely wiping them out. Alright, we will banish Guardian Chimera. They don't have Poly. Good. Okay. Now, Primite Roar. I can go ahead and set it here. I'll activate Lordly Load's effect. I'm gonna search for that Red Eyes. Alright, they use Ash Blossom here. They will burn for it. But that's completely fine. I still have Beryl in hand, and I have Normals engraved, so if they want to blow Ash on that, that's fine with me. It just gets their life points closer to 0. Okay, now it's their turn. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use Primite Roar here, just because if they summon something, I want to be able to blow it up. And the life points are worth it to guarantee that I can remove their normal summon. Because their normal summon is likely going to be Albaz, and I need to stop that. Fusion deployment here. I'll let that go off, but let's see. Okay, there we go, Fallen of Albaz. They activated the effect. Let's go ahead and negate. That was actually pretty smart to dodge Roar by special summoning, but they're going to burn for it. I'm actually surprised at how much I really loved playing with this new support. I haven't really had a match where I felt like there was nothing I can do, which is actually really refreshing. This deck is doing really well in TCG, and I'm sure it'll do just as well in Master Duel. I hope you guys enjoy the deck as you try it out, and let me know what you think in the comments. I'll catch you guys next time.